I'm Arthia Nixon for the Times-Georgian outside the Carroll County Sheriff's Office, where Sheriff Terry Langley is giving a stern warning to people who are involved in domestic violence disputes. The first incident occurred off of Hutchinson Ferry Road in Whitesburg just after 1 a.m., where 45-year-old Jonathan Wade Willis of Temple had gone to the residence and allegedly demanded to see his wife, Terry.
There was a lady that's staying there, and the estranged wife of Jonathan Wade Willis had come to stay for her safety at the Carnes residence. About 1 a.m. in the morning, Mr. Willis, Jonathan Wade Willis, came to the Carnes residence demanding to see his wife and demanding to enter the residence. Mr. Carnes and Miss Carnes confronted Mr. Willis and told him that he could not enter the residence. He continued to try to do that. At some point, he produced a weapon and started firing. Also, Mr. Carnes attempted to return fire with his own weapon, and Mr. Carnes was shot multiple times, and Miss Carnes was shot in the hand.
After Willis fled the scene, he was apprehended in Temple by officers from the Temple Police Department.
He has been charged with aggravated assault, aggravated battery, home invasion of the first degree, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and criminal attempt to commit a felony murder. There's a lot of this case that we're still investigating. Mr. Carnes is stable, but he is in Grady in Atlanta, suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. Miss Carnes is doing well. She was treated and released. She was shot in the hand.
While deputies investigated the Whitesburg shooting between 2:30 p.m. and 3 p.m., they received a call to a Carrollton residence where a female reported that her stepfather shot her mother. When police arrived at Tulip Way in Carrollton, they learned that 42-year-old Martha Mayfield had filed for a divorce 2 weeks ago from Jonathan Mayfield, her husband of 17 years. According to reports, the couple were arguing over the divorce filing when the husband produced an automatic pistol and shot at his wife. He then shot at his wife's sister, who was holding the couple's grandchild. After the woman and the child escaped with their lives, Mayfield turned the gun on himself.
We got the 911 call, a female caller that advised that her stepfather had shot her mother and himself. The State Patrol, Georgia State Patrol, also arrived on the scene along with deputies, and when they approached the residence, immediately located a white male, Jonathan Mayfield, laying on the carpeted floor with an obvious gunshot wound to the head. He was laying near the front door, had a semi-automatic pistol that was partially under him, close to his hands, and then officers noticed that they located a female, Martha Mayfield, laying to the right side of the front door. She was not breathing and no signs of life. But you know, we routinely get, probably not many days that go by that we don't have a report of a domestic violence. Now, it may be as simple as just a verbal argument and nobody's been hurt or hit, or nobody's been arrested, but we do get that quite often. And when an officer goes on a domestic scene like that and he gets there, he is to try to determine who is the aggressor and determine if there's any injuries to anybody there. If it's obvious that somebody's been hit, furniture has been broken, it's obvious that a domestic has occurred, then they can make an arrest. But it would not be uncommon for us to have had several this weekend as well, but nothing that resulted in anything like this, any injuries or what have you.
There have definitely been a lot of high-profile domestic violence cases within the county. Do you feel people are aware of resources out there where they can attempt to resolve their issues, seek anger management, for people attempting to leave the relationship, even seek out places to go to help themselves and their kids?
I think people are more aware of it than they've ever been. However, we still have to reinforce that there's help out there. That you can, if you have to, leave your residence. We have emergency shelters where women can go, even and with their children, that they can get safety until something can be resolved between them and their partner. But I think we need to continue to reinforce that it's not okay to live in domestic violence, that it is cruelty to children when they witness domestic violence, which is against the law as well, and it's not good for the children to have to see those kind of things. But the main thing is to let people know there is help, and it's not a situation where they have to just continue. Many live in fear, many live in isolation as far as domestic violence, because they don't feel like they have any help, and many times the aggressor or the batterer wants to isolate the victim to where they don't feel that they have anything to do but to stay with them and to stay under their control. So we need to continue to reinforce. I think information is more available and education has come a long ways in my career on domestic violence, but I think we continually need to reinforce that there's help out there for those type people. But you know, it's a very dangerous situation, you know. Many times it just needs to be reported. The judge needs to know about getting a temporary protective order. Police needs to know if somebody's made threats, whether they're idle threats or not. So you never know, you know, what is going to happen.
All right, thank you so much. I'm Arthia Nixon, and you'll find all these stories and more in the Times-Georgian, Carroll County's most trusted information reader.